In this lecture, we'll see builder pattern in action. To do that, go to the test, get rid of that line, and we'll create a new HTTP builder. To do that, we'll need the HTTP client dot HTTP client builder. It is an inner class. Hit Control 1, assign statement to a new local variable, call it builder. Once we have the builder, you invoke builder dot whatever fields you want to initialize. I want to initialize the HTTP method I want to use. Method is get, for example, or let's start with post. Now this guy returns, if I hit Control 1 here, assign statement to a new local variable, it returns a HTTP client builder. That is how the builder pattern works. Each of these methods initializes the field and then it returns a HTTP client builder. So I can invoke other methods on this as well. Method dot, I want to initialize the URL. I invoke the URL method, pass in a test URL, which is not really a URL. Dot, I want to initialize the body for the HTTP post. I give it a body, some JSON data like this. Now if I hit Control 1 and assign this to a local variable, it will still be a client builder object. That is not what I want. Get rid of that. Dot build method. When you invoke that, that is when a new instance of HTTP client will be used while copying the fields, whatever we have initialized using all these methods. Now hit Control 1, assign statement to a new local variable, and you can call this HTTP client. This code is much more readable than the code which we had earlier with the ugly constructor. Anybody looking at this knows that we are initializing a HTTP method and then a URL. The method names are much more readable, and the body and whatever methods you don't use here, they are not being initialized. That is the power of builder pattern. And you can also take this whole thing out here. You can take this all the way back. You can say HTTP client builder dot the method instead of creating a builder variable and all that. I'm going to take that out, and on the left side here, this guy will return a HTTP client. Call this client. Do a Control Shift F to format. So this is even shorter. If you want to use it like this, you can do that as well. Let me do a sysout, print this client out, right click, run as Java application, and you will see only those fields I have passed in, the method, the URL, and the body with empty flower brackets got initialized. The password, headers, and the username are null. We don't care because the code is much more readable, and that is how. If you want to secure it, you can always invoke the dot secure method. That's all that is needed to be done. Dot secure, pass in the user and the password, pass dot build at the end. Don't forget the dot build at the end. Save it. If you run the test again, this time it would have initialized the username and password for us, user and pass. Get rid of the unwanted import. Go ahead, create multiple instances and play around with the builder pattern.